All right. Well, welcome, guys. I'm Stephanie Pepper. I am here to help kick things off and introduce you guys to Alex, who's going to be presenting today and sharing some information that we have that we want to share with you guys about the new integration and feature that we're coming out with very soon. This is just a preview. We have not fully released it yet, but we want you guys to get excited and see what we're working on and getting ready to come out with really, really soon. Alex has been with us for a couple years now. He is the mastermind behind the mobile apps. So excited to introduce you guys to him. And he's been working really closely with the dev team on some of the desktop stuff as well. But yeah, Alex is going to be sharing some information about what we've got and the connection that we are getting ready to release with Zapier, and talk about some automations that we have. Ravi and I will both be in the chat room. So as always, feel free to unmute if you want at the end to ask questions, but the chat room's open. So definitely put some questions over there, comments. We love to hear it. And Ravi and I will be manning the chat room. But yeah, I guess let's go ahead and kick things off. Alex, do you want to give a quick intro?
Perfect. Okay, yeah, so I'm Alex. I work on the mobile apps and I also work on the API at Marketplace Software. And we recently developed integration with Zapier using the API to enable all of our users without any programming experience to create automations of their own on top of e-manage. And at the same time, just to give kind of like a brief intro into what kind of things can be done if you do hire an external developer to build on top of e-manage some custom integrations for your business. So I hope that this is a real eye-opener for some of you to see like how much more efficient you can make things with a little bit of automations with e-manage. So the first thing I want to do is just introduce Zapier, and basically what it is it's an integration platform. And what that means is we can take events or things that happen in one software and perform an action in another software. So for example, right now, we could respond to an event in QuickBooks. Let's say a new line item gets created, and we can automate an action in, let's say, Microsoft Teams. So like whenever there's a new line item, we send a message. Or let's say when a new lead is created in Salesforce, we can do something in Teams again. It also extends to other software that isn't listed here. So Microsoft Outlook's a great example, even text messages. And then we also have e-manage. E-manage has just joined the party and added to basically the 7,000 or 6,000 other apps that are also integrated with Zapier. So now what you all can do is respond to events that happen in e-manage and perform actions in a different software, let's say QuickBooks or Salesforce or Teams. And on the flip side, you could also respond to events that happen in software outside of e-manage, let's say a new Teams message, and you could, create something inside of e-manage. So I'll just walk through a couple of different examples, but like I've been saying, let's say your business creates a separate chat for each project that you work on. Let's say you have a chat called Project 705, and you want to make sure that every single chat that gets sent in that one particular chat room gets logged as a project note inside of e-manage. Well, because we're integrated with Zapier, we can do that now. Another thing that we could do is, let's say you use MailChimp to do your email marketing. And let's say that somebody unsubscribes from the MailChimp newsletter. You can mark them as not on mailing list inside of e-manage automatically if you use Zapier. Or another example would be, let's say that they click on a link inside of MailChimp. We can automatically create a new lead inside of e-manage so that we can follow up with them, or create a new follow-up or action item based on events that happen outside of e-manage in MailChimp. One more cool thing is, let's say that like you're a project manager and you really want to be up to date with the latest happening on every single project. Let's say the project status changes in e-manage. We can perform an action inside of Outlook. So I want to email every single time. Let's say the project status changes, because I'm always checking my email. Well, if we use Zapier, then we can do that. So just to kind of recap about how everything works, events in any software is called a trigger. And the triggers will automatically, or we can use Zapier triggers to perform actions in different software. So for example, like a new message, new project update, new subscriber in MailChimp. But Zapier is the integration platform that facilitates it all, and we're not integrated. So you decide how you want to connect the applications together, make your own QuickBooks integration or develop your own e-manage features. Like say, for example, like a project order complete project order completes, then you can automatically change the project status if you use Zapier. Or let's say that you receive a payment in full, then you can create a new action item inside of e-manage. So those are two examples of e-manage to e-manage integrations. So you don't even need to go through us anymore. If you want a new feature, if you want to just prototype your own features with e-manage, you can use Zapier to do that. No programming experience required. So how you would get started, the first thing that you would want to do is request an API key from one of our team members. And basically, it's just a long string of random letters and numbers that you'll plug in to log in and start building with Zapier. So that's the only thing that you need to do. And then if you have any questions, you can always reach out to our support team and we'd be happy to help you out. So I wanted to do a live demo, and then we'll see if time permits. I can follow up with another one. But the premise behind this demo is, let's say that you have an employee supervisor and a bunch of installers out in the field, and they're working to make sure that your project gets completed on time. But you want to also make sure that you're paying out the right amount of hours and that people are being accountable. So the idea behind this integration is when somebody clocks in on the job site, let's say with the eManage Crew app, your crew lead can get SMS notifications to verify that they're right there when they're clocking in. Or if they didn't receive like a text message from a crew member that's already there, then maybe they can give a reminder to the crew member to say like, hey, clock in with the crew app, please. So that's what this integration is all about. So I'm going to come over here to Zapier, and when you log in and you create your account, you'll see a screen that looks like this. Your unfinished zaps, and zap is essentially like an alias for automation. Your recent ones, and then I'm going to go up to this top left corner here and just hit create, and we're going to create a new zap. Like I was saying, the event that we want to respond to in eManage is a new time clock entry. It's actually called something different inside of everybody's database, and it's called employee time entry. So I'm going to go here. I'm just going to say the event that we want to respond to is a new employee time, and I'm going to hit continue. And I just want to show you all how logging in works. It's super easy. I'm already logged in, but let's say that I wanted to connect a different account. Well, I'll come over here, and your API key, which is going to look like something, like this. It's going to be a bunch of like strings of, random letters and numbers. You're just going to paste it inside of this pop-up window right here, and then just hit continue in order to log in. Everybody's is different, and you'll have to request an API key from our support team. But once you're logged in, we can go over here to test. And what should pop up is essentially a list of like all of the latest employee time entries, or basically when people clocked in and out. So for this record right here, scroll down a little bit. There's a lot of data, but you'll be able to skim through it, and we'll see pretty soon that the employee's first name was Dave and the last name was Anderson. And I'm not sure exactly when they clocked in, but we're just going to continue anyway. So we're going to continue with this record. And now we're moving on to the action. So the thing that we want to do in response to this new time clock entry is we want to send a text message. So this is the action, and I'm just going to hit send SMS, hit continue. And for this particular one, my phone number is already connected as an account. You have to do multi-step verification, but I've already performed that. So that's done. We're going to test the action, and I'm going to say that I want Zapier to send it from this number right here. It could be any of these numbers. I could even choose random, but let's just choose a 1650 number right here. And this is where the magic happens is I can use the data from the event or the trigger inside of the automation step. So the first name that I called out earlier, Dave, I can embed that as a variable and say like, hi, Alex, right? Dave, which is the first name, the last name, Anderson, just clocked in, something like that. That'll be a super simple message because we're just doing a demo right now. I'm going to hit continue. And then I want to ask Stephanie, can you see my phone? Is it in focus right now?
Kind of. It's a little blurry,
Kind of.
but that's
Okay, I'll put it like kind of sort of close to my face, and then I'm just going to hit test over here. Then should have sent. There we go.
nice.
And then
You see
I
a lot.
just got the text message. The text message is from 650-646, and then the other numbers. And it says, "Hi, Alex, Dave Anderson just clocked in." So that's just one example of the things that you can do. Since we still have some time, I'll go through another example. And let's just go back here. So the next example is going to be email updates when a new action item, like let's say, is submitted, like that. So we're gonna come back here, and I'm gonna ask Ravi for help on this one. Ravi, can you try to say something to let me know that you're alive?
I'm alive.
Okay, he is alive. All right, so again, we're gonna do an e-manage trigger, and then we're gonna do something else, like in a different software. So e-manage is our trigger, and the event that we want to respond to is a new project milestone. And this is like the sort of legacy name for action item. They're synonymous now. So we're gonna respond to this milestone or action item. And again, it's going to be connected to my account, and we can just skip over that trigger step and test it. And it's going to pull some like dummy records, or like just records that are like inside of our database so far. But when it's live, it's going to respond to any new entry that gets created. It's not going to respond to like the old ones. So we'll just pick this one right here and then proceed with it. And then I'm going to use Outlook. And let's say the new action item gets creative or created, then what do I want to do? Well, I could do all of these things, right? Like find a contact or create a new like event in my calendar or create a contact. But I know that because we're responding to a new action item, that I always want to send an email. And so I'm going to send it from my Outlook account, alex@e-manageone.com, and just going to insert that here too, from alex@e-manageone.com, and I want to send it to Ravi at e-manageone.com. That's the correct email, right, Ravi?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and then I will also CC Stephanie at e-manageone.com. Perfect. And then the subject, what I want to name that is the project milestone. The project milestone name. In this case, it looks like it is request revision to furniture price /discount. I think that stands for discount. And I'm just going to make the body format text. Okay, so and then magic happens again here. We can put the data from the trigger inside of the body of our message. So I'm just going to say like hi, and then like Ravi, because Ravi's the project manager. Just wanted to let you know that. And then let's say I want to insert the project number. So I'm going to look up the project number, and project job numbers right there. I just want to let you know that 1529 dash, and then like the project name, right? Because that's important to know. Project name is testing admin user fix. I think your project names will probably be, a little bit more like not like testing stuff. So just want to let you know that 1529 project name, and then the order name too would probably be important. Order name, new order. I don't know, Ravi. What do you think? What do you think we should make this say?
Maybe just like on order and then have the order name and then an action item was submitted.
Action item was submitted.
Maybe have the project milestone in there again instead
Okay.
of just action item.
Okay, so just want to let you know that 1529 testing admin user fix on new order, an action item was submitted.
Yeah, 4 and then the
4.
action itself.
Okay, and then project milestone, which should be the name. Perfect.
Yeah. And then by the user maybe even.
Yeah. Okay,
Created
so
by.
by the user full name. Right, project user full name, or just this one looks good too. So for user full name, and then we could add attachments, but we're not going to do that right now. We're just going to hit continue. So I'm going to test a step. And let's see if I go to Outlook right here. And then I have this one for when we were testing earlier, but I also have this one, which is, it says 7:17, but that's Hawaii time. It's 12:17 on Pacific time. So this is the one that just got sent, and it also has Stephanie and Ravi CC'd to it. So that's a quick demo of what you can do, just to build your own little integrations, because everybody, like eManage is such a huge software and it fits a lot of use cases for everybody. But because there's so many use cases to support, we know that it's going to be really difficult if we want to sort of customize it for each of your needs. So for all of you, Zapier will be a tool. Let's say that at your company, you really love to leverage email, or you really love to leverage Teams, or even like Slack. You know, you're not in the Microsoft suite of things. Zapier will be one of the best ways that you can just really tailor eManage to your exact needs. So just to recap, with it, you're going to be able to connect over 6,000 apps. I just showed some basic ones today, but you can get even more complex with it. And we built an SMS integration, an email integration, and you're going to want to get an API key so that you can start building similar things. And that's all from me. We have some time for questions too.
While you guys are thinking of some questions, I'll just reiterate that this is a preview. This is not meant to be a training session. We don't expect you guys to know how to use this right out the bat. We are going to be releasing some documentation on it to make sure you guys are supported if you do want to use this. But yeah, like Alex said, it's in general, we're bypassing development, letting you guys create custom workflows and increase your efficiencies. It's meant to, go outside of eManage. Yes, we have action items which help with the workflow, but we want to open up the doors to allow it to be user-defined custom workflows. Dealer to dealer, we're all kind of doing the same things, but there's differences, slight differences, and we want you guys to control what type of automation you want to do, want to create. No development needed. There are a couple questions coming in. The one of them that I was going to speak to as far as cost goes. We have not fully released. Of course, there is going to be a cost involved, but it's basically going to be on your usage. Just in a nutshell, know that it's your usage. Each dealer, like Alex mentioned, is going to have their own API key, your own login, and so your usage will be, recorded just for what you're using. And yeah, as far as Zaps go, I feel like from what I've seen, the pricing is very, very reasonable, and obviously the outcome is far worth it. So we will be releasing that when it is fully released to the public. Anything else to speak to as far as pricing goes, Alex? Does that kind of cover it very high level?
Yes. So right now we're sort of in like a trial period. We're still trying to get the integration publicly released, and it's been a little bit difficult just because it's so big. Like Zapier really hasn't integrated with the software that's as big as eManage, so they're taking a long time to review it. But until then, it's still available to everybody here. If you really want to use it right now, we can send you an invitation to the private version of it, and then you can get started building right away. And then as far as pricing goes, I think we're just going to feel it out for the next month is like um, our official stance on this. But we are tracking the usage. So the official, because it uses the API, we are counting the usage of the API and we're officially billing for that. But we're gonna see what it actually comes down to because we don't want to be overcharging you all for your Zapier usage because of how things are actually like wired up. But just know that for like the next like 2 or 3 months, I think that it's gonna be okay.
Asking when this will be ready. Like Alex said, technically it is available, but we haven't publicly released yet. So we're just waiting on Zapier for that approval. But you will know, Mark, whenever we are fully out there, and we'll have all of the documentation that you need to get moving on setting some stuff up for your custom workflows.
Is it my understanding that you're paid per transaction? Is that how this is anticipated having? Every time you use it, there'll be a cost? Like every time there's like you did what you just showed us and that goes through, then you pay for that use? Is that generally the way this works?
So the way that Zapier works is it's a mix of a subscription plus a usage model. So how it works is, let's say that the unit is essentially every single time Zapier performs a task on your behalf. So let's say let's take that SMS to like e-manage integration, for example. Let's say it sends one text message to your crew lead that counts as one task and therefore one unit. And then you can pay, I think it's $20 a month and you'll get 750 tasks on Zapier or units. And so Zapier has its own pricing for that. And then e-manage the API. We also charge based on like tasks or calls to the API. Basically, every single time you want to query data from the API, we charge for that. But the API is much cheaper than the actual than Zapier is because you're paying for a full-blown user interface with all of the very nice automation features there. So you will be paying for Zapier, and then you'll also be paying for the API. But the API, like per call, is like just fractions of a cent. So you'd have to be making like hundreds or thousands of API calls every month for it to rack up to anything significant. Does that answer your question, Mark?
Yeah. Is anybody doing this with HubSpot yet?
No, but it's something that we looked into, and HubSpot is integrated with Zapier. So we'd be more than happy to have a talk with you if you're interested, and we can help you through making a integration with HubSpot if that's something you're also interested in.
And Teams? Have you worked with anybody with Teams?
I actually made a few for our own, like for the marketplace software one, and it's pretty awesome, honestly. Like you can listen to events on like particular channels and then like make things like in e-manageONE in response to those events. Very, very easy to work with. I would highly recommend.
Got it.
Currently, the only integration that we're working on with an existing customer is with MailChimp, and it's pretty neat. Like he was referencing earlier in the meeting, if somebody subscribes or there's action taken on the MailChimp side, it could automatically trigger or create something inside of eManage. So we're kind of creating some backbone for that in the desktop application. We've been preparing for that. Once that's fully up and running, we'll definitely share how that's going, an actual case study. So if anybody wants to take advantage of that, they could do the same thing. questioned early on about if this was being recorded, just so everybody's clear that this all of our webinars are recorded. We'll be posting this on our YouTube channel. Probably also send up a follow-up email out to those that could not join us. So thanks for asking. It means that you guys are actually looking out for these and find value in them and want to watch them. So there are no further questions. Hope you guys can see the power of this. We've been getting a lot of emails and calls about automation and automatically sending emails to internal or external contacts. This is going to be the bridge that we take to make that happen. This just speeds up development. We're just bypassing development and able to put this in place a lot quicker than if we had to build that out within eManage. And it's also user defined and controlled by you. Every dealer is not going to want, an email to automatically go out to a project contact when an install is scheduled, but a lot of you might. So just think about how powerful this could be. One last question, it looks like, will this work through the eManage program or Zapier? It's a combination, right, Alex? But you set it up in Zapier.
Program, does that mean like a billing program, or does that mean like software program?
Deborah, if you want to clarify.
Right. Yeah, so you'll have to sign up for Zapier, and depending on your usage, you might have to pay. But yes, you're gonna go to Zapier.com, sign up for an account. We'll send you email to privately invite you to the integration. Then you can join and start building on the Zapier platform.
Awesome. Absolutely, Deborah. If you guys have any further questions about any of this, don't hesitate to reach out to me directly, and I'll definitely get you connected with the right people as usual. But yeah, thank you guys for joining and taking some time to see what we've got going on and just utilizing technology, right, to make things easier on you guys. So we're all ears when it comes to comments, suggestions, questions. So reach out to us if you need us. Thank you, Alex. Thanks, everyone. Y'all have a good day.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you, you too.
Absolutely. Bye, guys.